Kiss of Death. Death's Doorstep Series. By Mia Hall. Chapter 1. Kira was standing at the shore of a lake, surrounded by trees and a small cabin stationed nearby. She was looking up at the sky, appreciating her freedom from school during her last weeks of summer, when she suddenly felt a wave of water wash over her. It wasn't natural. Someone else was the perpetrator. The freezing water came up to splash Kira in the face again, as she turned to see who had attacked her. The cold liquid sent her squealing backward, and nearly falling back into the waist-deep lake water she'd been standing in. Before she could slip, the culprit, Ezra, stepped forward and grabbed her to prevent her fall, even though he was the one who had just splashed her. He was laughing, his deepening voice making his chest vibrate as she pushed against him to escape the water fight. For a split second, they were inches apart from each other. Their laughter died as Kira became overly aware of just how close he was, how they could kiss if she inched forward just a little more. The pair was enveloped by an unnaturally giant wave that sent both of them tumbling back into the deeper part of the small lake. Kira lost the sense of which way was up, and became immensely grateful for the underwater breathing spell her best friend Ben had cast on everyone before this lake trip began. However, even though she wasn't struggling for air, the sense of being trapped underwater still made her panic. She wasn't good at keeping her eyes open underwater either, so all she could do was thrash around in the dark until a strong arm wrapped around her waist and pulled her back up. The cold air struck her face once more, and she sucked in a huge gasp, wiping her hands over her eyes to rid them of water as Ezra's arm untangled from her waist. "I told you," Ben taunted from the shoreline, his blonde hair nearly looking brown from the water. "Don't challenge a magician to a water fight, unless you have the spells to back it up." This was followed by a comical, high-pitched laugh that made Kira roll her eyes. She turned to Ezra and was pleased to see him doing the same. His dark hair was flat against his head and his tan chest was dripping. She quickly averted her eyes. She didn't want Ben to catch her looking at that. "Luckily, he's not the only one who studied water magic on our way here," Ezra whispered in Kira's ear before uttering a few foreign words. As he hovered his hands over the water, what looked like a liquid horse rose from the lake's surface and charged toward a shocked Ben. His tiny tidal wave was nothing compared to Ezra's higher-level magic. Ezra was becoming a jack-of-all-trades when it came to spells. Mei, who had been standing next to Ben a moment ago, leaped out of the way, abandoning Ben. Ben looked ready to protest this betrayal, but then the horse was suddenly behind him. It reared up on its hind legs.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?